Hi, I'm Don. Welcome to my channel. I'm an affiliate painter for Red Grass Games and also the head mecha and sci-fi painter for Vallejocolors. I write painting articles for Fine Scale Modular Magazine. I also write articles for Fantasy Figures International Magazine. Lastly, if you're into Gunpla, do use my discount code for usagundamstore.com. Today we paint red armor and purple cloth. We did zenithal painting in the previous video and now we start with burnt red. I just let the wet palette and the wet brush dilute the paint a bit, but we're basically not thinning the paint. I applied the burnt red in like 2 to 3 thin coats, mostly 2 thin coats in most of the areas, and just let each coat dry. Our white-gray undercoat made the burnt red a bit brighter than usual and it's very vibrant. Now we use Nocturna Sanctuary Red. This is a bit redder than dark vermilion. Using the Sanctuary Red, I basically sketch or block the highlight areas where the light should be hitting the armor. So this will actually be the undercoat of our highlights later. Also, this is the sort of like the middle tone or the base coat of our red armor. I applied the Sanctuary Red in 3 thin coats because red are naturally transparent. Now use Nocturna Fire Flame. This is now brighter than our usual dark vermilion. The fire flame is very bright, so basically this is like our pre-highlight color. I applied it in 2-3 thin coats in most areas, and basically I'm blocking the areas where the highlight should be. So you paint less areas in comparison to the previous color, and then you create highlights using this paint. After 2 to 3 thin coats of the fire flame, we have a very bright red armor already. Now we paint violet red on the loincloth. I applied this in 3 thin coats. Honestly, I was surprised that this is not as opaque as other colors because I thought purple or violet would be very opaque, but it's as translucent or transparent as red colors. First, we mix the purple with the violet red so that we have an intermediate color so that the contrast won't jump into from violet red into purple. So this creates smoother transition without glazing. This simple technique of mixing intermediate color like the previous color and the current color to create smoother transitions is very simple and easy to do. Now we mix dark blue pale as a lighter color to the purple. So I like the dark blue pale because it's dark, it's blue, and it's pale. So we're building up highlights on the loincloth. I wanted a silky look to the cloth, so I'm creating very fine very fine shine or sheen or highlights to the cloth to give an illusion that it's a shiny cloth. Notice that we haven't done glazing at this point because for me glazing is boring. So now we thin the chalice red from Nocturna set into a wash consistency and apply it as shadows to the loincloth. This also serves as a sort of a glazing paint so that everything blends well together. Now we use pale gray blue. I like it because it's pale, it's gray, and it's blue. Seriously though, because it's bright but not too bright, and it's bluish, not too gray. Now we use Wern Red from the Nocturna set for the red armor. So the Wern Red is perfect for highlights or pre-highlights, but I find it too pale. I mean, it's not too it's not too bright. It's very subtle, and I don't like subtle. So it's nice, but it's too subtle. So now we bring in white. We mix white with Wern Red, basically producing a squid pink, if you know that color, game color squid pink. And now we use that for the highlights. So basically, I'm carefully adding highlights to the red armor, mixing the white into the worn red to create more highlights or brighter color or a brighter highlight, and until I don't like the look already. For some odd reason, I don't know why, but I thought that adding white highlights, really extreme white highlights and very bright pink highlights would create a very crispy or very like hard looking armor, but after a while it looked funny. Now it's tip time, let's fix the armor. I enjoyed adding white to the worn red and I created like a very like, I don't know, it doesn't look good. So now we glaze chalice red mixed with a bit of sanctuary red and created our custom wash and toned down the highlights. Now it's looking better. Well, custom washes or contrast paints or inks, Vallejo inks, are really great at reducing or toning down those highlights and creating a more like natural look to whatever you're painting. I do know some miniature painters really like very high contrast like edge highlighting and highlights, but for some reason I'm not comfortable with that look. So I tend to prefer to do glazes or like tone down the highlights at the end of every painting sessions. Even when I paint skin, I use inks and washes to tone down whenever I do like I overdo highlights. That's it. Basically, we painted the red armor, red NMM armor, and the purple silky loincloth. So, if you've noticed, I don't really do glazing so much. I do layering and produce intermediate color in between previous colors to create nice transitions, which is more fun personally for me than do a lot of glazing. And then at the end of the painting, we blend all the layers by doing shadows and glazing with inks and washes. That's it, we're done. I hope you liked the video. Do like, comment, subscribe, and consider joining the channel so that you'll be part of our Discord community. Saludos! I am Don. Welcome to my channel.